Welcome. In front of me I have the TOCOL MagSafe case for the iPhone 17 Pro, and I'll be going over unboxing along with a look at the case itself, how well it's made, its features, and just a general test fit for the phone. So let's just get straight into this. We do have pull tab right here. Love to see those. Oh, not the best one. I find it kind of funny where it tells you how to put in your phone into the case. I mean, it's not complicated. I don't think we need a guide on that one. And here's the case. It does have a kind of almost skin-like color here. And at a first glance, it's probably one of the least kind of flashy cases, the least kind of well-made ones. But it does have also features that I do like. So let's get into this. Let's first put in our device into it. There we go. Fits in well. Now, if we move it to the side, you can see we do have a bit of a coverage right here for the lip extending right here to protect the display when you place it on a table like this. And I already have a screen protector, which is kind of getting pushed upwards by the case because it's crookedly applied. Don't worry, that's just me, not the case. And yeah, with even that tempered glass right here adding a little bit of thickness to the display, it still gives us enough clearance to protect the display from being scratched up on a flat surface. And then when we took a look at the sides and all that, we have every button covered with the sides right here cut for easier pressing of the buttons. Same goes for the power button, but the thing that isn't covered is our camera, or camera button. So this one is fully exposed. And then if we take a look at the bottom, we have all the cutouts for the speakers and the charging port. And I want to point out the speakers need to be cut out. Nope, never mind. They're just like every other case, a little bit closer. Okay, that's maybe a little bit too much brightness. So you can see they're a little bit cut out to the top side, though looking top down, it actually looks almost symmetrical. The bottom one, this one seems a bit better than this one. Now I'm pointing that out because some cases tend to have the cutouts not very symmetrically or not correctly placed, so they are almost touching the perforations for the speakers. Obviously that might change how the device sounds. Okay, so with that out of the way, let's also do a chunky cable test fit. I have like a, you can see, pretty chunky cable. So here is a normal one, a type C that you would see, and you can see the difference in thickness of these. So these do differ just a bit. So this is a much bigger cable, and if you have such a cable, you don't need to worry. It looks like it fully plugs in. It's not being obstructed in any way, so you should have no problem plugging and charging your device with some bigger kind of cable that has this kind of chunky plastic area. And even if I can find it, I did throw it somewhere here, bear with me. I need to find it. My dumbass, oh there we go, decided to toss this. There we go. So here's a type A to type C plug. You can see this is pretty substantial in size. Works fine. Fully plugged in, no problem. So you should have no clearance problems right here with any kind of USB cable. And with that out of the way, let's flip it over to the back where we have our MagSafe and our cameras along with the camera plateau. So let's start off with the camera area right here. We do have a raised area, so it does have like a perimeter that is a bit raised. And this gives us obviously protection for the lenses themselves. They don't get scratched up when you place it on a table. Don't need to worry about that one. It's completely covered. But another thing that is covered right here, maybe, probably not but also, is the plateau right here, which protects your phone if you tend to drop it in some places with loose keys or packet change. That could possibly scratch the cameras along with the camera plateau, but the camera plateau is covered, so it's protected. So the only thing you need to worry about is the more important portion, which is the lenses themselves. And other things that are exposed right here will be the flash, which is plastic right here. So the weird like white part, that is actually plastic and it can get scratched, though it's a flash, so it doesn't really matter if it does. And we have our lighter along with this hole, that's for the microphone. Now, when it comes down to cases like this with the full kind of plateau coverage, you are limited in terms of lens protectors. I have recorded a video for this phone how to apply a lens protector, and the ones that I've used are basically copies of what Samsung has by default on their phone. Like, this is just normal camera design on Samsungs, but you can buy the same kind of looking things, the circles right here, these discs, for iPhone as a lens protector. Now, these ones specifically that I have recorded will not work with this case, just because there is not enough space around the camera for this kind of lens protector to apply to the plateau, as it does go over the camera to the sides and glues itself to the plateau. So that will not be able, you won't be able to use that here, as there is not enough coverage or not enough space between the plastic right here and the camera bump. So another one that you wouldn't be able to use is the full camera plateau coverage, which you have like this straight up slab of glass that you plop on the entire plateau. Obviously, this one is also completely out of the question right here, as it's already covered mostly. So you won't be able to use that one. And the only lens protector that you can use will be probably the least expensive one. So might not be as bad if you tend to scratch them or break them. So you can buy separate kind of, or not separate, but these plastic or glass discs, and you just glue them on the glass portion of the lens, and you're good to go. Your camera is protected, and if anything happens, you can just peel it off and replace it. That has no clearance problems, as it's glued to the top right here only. So it's also very minimal, doesn't have any kind of like weird designs where, like I said, with like the copy of Samsung lens coverage, not really a problem right here. So every case will be able to utilize those, and still your cameras will be protected. Now, moving on further down, we have our MagSafe right here, along with the plastic back, and this is also plastic right here, the plateau coverage. So these might get scratched if you tend to again drop it loosely into your, for instance, purse. As it is plastic, it's not as rigid. And another thing is the rubber that goes right here. You can feel the seam between it. Something that I like to point out, as when you're holding the phone, your fingers just kind of sometimes interact with it, and you feel that it's not fully smooth. So it just takes away from that premium kind of feeling. Now, I'm pointing that out is because there are some other cases or case manufacturers that do this perfectly. This might not be the most glamorous looking case, and it's just one of the ones that I had right here at just arm's reach. But the plastic fusing between the rubber and the plastic is perfect. Like, I cannot tell there is a fuse between it. The only thing I can tell is just a change of surfaces, as the bumper right here has a different texture than the frosted plastic at the back. But generally I cannot tell that there is a fuse between them. It's nearly seamless, something that isn't happening right here, and you can feel that. So I do want to point that out. All in all, the case is okay. I like the fact that it comes with a plateau coverage and MagSafe, as not every case has a MagSafe. One thing that I also like to see on cases, but this is personal preference, is one of those kickstands that you have, for instance, built into the perimeter of the camera, where you just flip it up and you can just, you know, kickstand your phone at any place without much of a problem. And is incorporated to the camera itself, like the protection right here. So it also looks like it's part of the case, minimal, so it looks very nice. Here again, we don't have such a thing. Other than that, we also are missing the camera button coverage, which a decent amount of cases have right here, and a cheap design right here as the buttons, as some other cases, like again this one, have physical buttons right here. So these are loose plastic buttons that it can have. It will be covering your physical buttons on the phone a bit better, and also give you a nicer tactile feedback when pressing it, along with just being an actual, like, you know, button that we can feel other than an extension of the case itself. So those are some of the shortcomings and I guess things that I also like about this case. So there we go. Now if you're interested in picking this case up, a link should be in the description, so you can check it out. Anyway, if you found this very helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.